Good afternoon, everybody. It's about 5 p.m. on Tuesday, February 20th, 2024. This story is about Erie County, the Department of Health, and there being no studies regarding the efficacy or injuries or deaths caused by the COVID-19 injections. This is a story we've been covering for quite a while here in Erie County. So this is an update based upon different information that we have gathered up until this point. We here at the Experience Media, our team, we have attempted to contact multiple individuals from multiple levels of either law enforcement or the New York State Office of Public Corruption, or including the Attorney General's office, the District Attorney's office here in Erie County, and the State Attorney General's office. We have contacted several numbers that we have had at each one of those agencies, each one of those entities: local law enforcement, Erie County sheriffs, New York State troopers. We have contacted everybody that we can. And what we are attempting to determine is why, at this point in time, there have been no investigations whatsoever on any of the decisions that took place between March 2020, more to the point August of 2020, because that's when the first injections became available. We have other investigations that we are trying to gather information and data. We've got that information gathered, and we're attempting to get that information into the hands of law enforcement so they can do their investigations. Article 1, Section 6 of the New York State Constitution states very clearly these investigations need to and must take place. We have New York State public corruption laws, along with a wide variety of other laws that were violated. Very specific individuals, they engaged in activities that they should not have, that were criminal in nature within the county, within the New York State Department of Health, Erie County Department of Health, and a wide array of other agencies. We haven't been able to get any information gathered from the state. We've attempted to provide them with all of the evidence that we have, all of the affidavits, all of the testimony that we have regarding this issue specifically, as well as other issues. And we've been unable to do that. Local law enforcement, they deflect and they obfuscate. They are not interested in participating in this investigation at all. State troopers, the same exact thing. We were referred to the New York Office of Public Corruption, which we contacted. We have not received a phone call back from them. We were very specific in our request from them, to them, what we were looking for, and we have yet to hear back. You leave messages for them. This is what government does. The AGOA, the Administration of Government Oversight and Accountability at this point, along with the Office of the Healthcare Accountability, both of those agencies are looking into the corruption that is happening right now. What is also happening, you have these agencies, they are engaged in other additional crimes because they are not doing their jobs. They are required by their oaths of office to investigate these different crimes when they become aware of them. And they're not doing that right now. You have a situation that exists where each town should be monitoring how many people are injured right now with different types of injuries, how many people are dying. They were able to do that very easily during COVID. They were telling us each and every moment of every day how many people were in the hospital, how many people had contracted COVID, and how many people had died from COVID. Where that stopped was with the injections. There has been no official study here by our agencies that are tasked to do that and ordered to do that in New York State or any one of the counties or any one of the towns. We have attempted to gather information from local firefighters, EMS, on how many calls they have been receiving. We have attempted to interview doctors' offices, and most of the information that we get is information from individuals who are injured. They are experiencing cancers. They are experiencing neurological disorders. Dent Institute, they can't even keep people, they're turning people away because they can't get enough people inside. They don't have enough people to accommodate all of the patients that are requiring attention. You have doctors' office after doctor's office that they are seeing what is happening with their patients, and they're not being honest with their patients. And we are wondering why that is and why they're not being investigated. We believe at this point there are some doctors that truly don't believe that these injections are causing harm. They're seeing a spike in all of these different injuries and these illnesses and deaths, cancers, but they're not making the correlation and the connection to when that increase started. We're seeing huge percentage increases in miscarriages, fetal demise, stillborns. And they're attempting to normalize this. We've seen sudden adult death syndrome added to the medical coding. We have seen unknown cause added to medical coding. We have seen a couple of others that are brand new, never before. And everything coincides with the beginning date of August 2020, which is when these injections started. And yet, here in New York State, you have other states that are pursuing lawsuits. You have Ken Paxton, the Attorney General down in Texas, pursuing Pfizer, letting them know that they misled the public. But here in New York State, Pfizer is still advertising COVID injections. If you go to area hospitals, including Roswell, they are holding injection sites where you walk in, you don't even need an appointment, and they're injecting you with the COVID-19, still experimental injection. You have the New York State Department of Health advertising and promoting this, pushing it. They're pushing it inside these doctors' offices, all while at the same exact time, these doctors are seeing these things that they've never seen before. You have your morticians seeing clotting, white clotting, micro clotting, serious clotting in almost every single individual who has died after they've received an injection here in Erie County and across New York State. These are very serious and very grave issues. And we know a lot of people are talking about this. We know the Administration of Government Oversight and Accountability is doing a great job trying to get this information, all of the evidence that has been collected from all these other states here in the towns in Erie County and other counties across New York State. We know that they will continue to do the best that they can to get that information out there. Here at the Experience Media, we will continue to cover this story until we start seeing justice, until these people that have been injured are made whole by these pharmaceutical companies. They are made whole by the individuals who are pushing this, doctors, nurses, pharmacists, pharmaceutical companies, the public servants. We will not rest until Article 1, Section 6 of the New York State Constitution as it refers to public servants, where they will be investigated and they cannot invoke the Fifth Amendment, or they will be removed from office by the Attorney General, by action of the Attorney General. There's too many people at this point who have been injured or died. It's no secret at this point. Fauci came out and announced to everybody, they made it all up as they were going. Every single one of the measures that you're and even the Biden have stated, they made it up as they were going along. They said you were never forced to get an injection. Don't ever forget that these people have said this. These people who everybody listened to, the HR heads who enforce this on people who don't want to take any liability or accountability now, attorneys for businesses, they don't want to take any liability or accountability, and you have the insurance companies for these different businesses where they don't want to take any accountability or liability, but they were all too willing to shame and bully and intimidate people into taking these injections. Justice needs to be served. These agencies that are tasked with doing these investigations and then having charges filed against the individuals, arresting and prosecuting, they must do this. Letitia James says that there are no crimes in New York State that are above the law. No individuals who commit crimes that are above the law. She went after Donald Trump with her office in a first ever historic type of case that attorney after attorney and judge after judge across this state and the country agreed was frivolous, that the case should have never happened. Why is it that is she using her office and the power that she has and going after Trump, all while we have all of these instances of injuries and all of these deaths associated with the COVID-19 injections at this point? We will continue to pursue this and get you answers because you deserve answers as well as all the people. There needs to be a memorial for all of the people who have died as a result of getting COVID and not getting the proper treatment. And for each and every one of those individuals who have taken an injection and been injured irreparably and or died as a result of it. We can no longer ignore it. We can no longer continue to give these to our children, to all the people that they are, all while we know country after, we have the data now. The data is in. There's no mistaking it. By ignoring it, these individuals, every individual that is associated with and responsible for getting these injections out to people, they are guilty of knowingly injecting something into somebody that will injure or harm them, and they're not going about that in the proper way. They are not notifying people of that. It's not even that they shouldn't be notifying people of it. It's that they shouldn't even be administering this anymore. There is enough data compiled at this point to know exactly what is happening. And that begs the question at this point, is it all about the money for New York State that they are getting from the big pharmaceutical companies? We know that's what it's all about for the doctors' offices and the hospitals that continue to give these injections. This needs to stop. And we at the Experience Media, we will not stop until they stop giving those injections and every single person who has been injured is made whole and apologized to. And every single person who has died as a result of not getting the care and treatment that they should have been getting if they had COVID or if they received the injection and they died. These people, their families need to be made whole. They know this is happening in other states. Why is it that the attention isn't being given to lawsuits? Letitia James, nobody is above the law. So why isn't she going after these people? And why is she going after these frivolous lawsuits? We'll continue to ask these questions and dig in deep for you. I'm Pete Harding for The Experience Media. I hope you have a blessed day. Take care, and I'll see you soon.